Hello and welcome to PaintShop Pro Basics, episode 42, the Picture Tube Tool. The Picture Tube Tool allows you to draw individual objects from essentially a clip art library called a picture tube. Each picture tube has a library of individual images that you paint with. Not really much more to it than that. For example, I have this art media tool. With it, I can draw. Here's what I'm supposed to be able to draw. Grab random. Okay, I can draw little pictures of art media onto my image by simply clicking. I can also click and drag to get stuff put out, but obviously that has a little less defined method of placing things. Besides, if I'm looking for a specific object, I can just click through them until I get to the one I want. There we go. Your options are fairly limited. First, you have the actual picture tube selection dialog. This allows you to pick which picture tube you want to use. Next is your scale. Scale allows you to pick how large the image is going to be when it's placed on the canvas by comparison to its original size. 100 is 100% of its original size, 200 is 200% of its original size, and 50 is 50% of the original size. You have all of these options. 15. That dot is now 15% its original size. Want it larger? It's now 174% of its original size. And obviously, because all of them are raster images, upscaling means that it has to create new pixels to make it larger. So it's going to get really blurry, really fuzzy. Best to leave scale alone unless you absolutely need to make it larger. More often than not, you're going to make them smaller as opposed to larger. Step and placement mode work hand in hand. Step refers to how many pixels there are between the next time you draw the image. Right now it's set to 1, so there's a 1 pixel difference between the drawings. As you can see, it's like I'm drawing with a little sphere. And that's with the placement mode of 1 pixel per draw. In the placement mode of close to 100, you get more little dots than anything else. Placement mode determines how it uses step to determine when to place something down. Random puts the step as the maximum number of pixels between each draw. But it can easily draw anywhere between 1 pixel up to the step for determining everything. Like here, it will draw randomly. Continuous means that it will always have the step in between. So it's always that maximum number of pixels between each draw. It's never random. That tends to remain at random. I'll put that back down at 1 so it's drawing normally. Selection mode determines which of the images it selects. Now, this particular picture tube only has 1 real image. There's not like multiple types of balls. It's just the 1 ball. So, not really a great example to be using. How about if I grab nature gravel? Okay. Many different types of rocks. Right now, it's randomly picking from its library of images. This means that I can get the exact same image multiple times in a row, or I can get a different image each time that I draw. Your other options are angular, where it assigns a image to a certain angle. So depending on the angle that you're drawing at, it will change the image. Incremental means it just filters through each of the images in the library one at a time. Pressure is used with pen tablets. It assigns the individual images to certain pressure levels. And velocity will pick a particular image from depending on how fast you're drawing. When you get into creating your own picture tubes, you also have this little button here called Settings. This allows you to affect all of the things that we just said, with the exception of scale. Currently, only picture tubes made for PaintShop Pro 9 will allow you to adjust the scale in this particular dialog box, as well as how it defines with the different images in the picture tube. Because all the images in a picture tube is just a grid or a table of images, and then we use these cells across and cells down based upon the size of the image to determine how big each of the cells are. And, well, that's pretty much it for your picture tubes. Obviously, the dialogue will be a little confusing, so you don't ever have to worry about that until you create your own. And I'm going to leave you there. Hello, and welcome to PaintShop Pro Basics, episode 43.